our decisions made. I'm going home, but unafraid. Can I survive? The train is tough, but what to take? Will it be enough? I need to have survival tools to leave them here. I'd be a fool. Do I dare to even leave? 'Cause I need fuel and air to breathe. I'm doing okay where I am. Got my fuel and oxygen. I found my feet and built my home. Even though I'm all alone, I feel the need to leave this place. Do I want to hesitate? Should I scrap the whole idea? No, no, I must get out of here. Overthinking, soft debating, second guessing, deliberating. Procrastination, the thief of time. I must complete my new design. And I tell myself, complete the task and see it through is all I ask. I'm doing okay here and now. Survive the start, but don't know how. I struggle through the first few days and have to build 1,000 ways. I feel the need to head on home. I feel I should not be alone, but in this place I feel secure. But no, I must go through that door. No second guessing, no more delay. My mind's made up, I'm on my way. I can't stay here, I've got to eat. It's only time and self-belief. Solving I'm thinking. What if I am wrong?
Hello everybody, welcome back. So, here we are. Yeah, run out of resources, as you might have guessed. Let me just hop back into me. There we are, there's my miner ship there. Yeah, I've got the resources to finish off one of the jump drives, but not the other one. So I'm going to zip off. I think we also need to get some more ice for our matey up there. So before we get too carried away with mining gold, I'm just going to pop off and do that. Let me get some keys back here. I need to, what do I need to do? I need to go to, yes, we're going to leave him there for a minute. I think he'll be alright, got loads of hydrogen. Let me just go and check on this fella up here. Okay, yeah, so he needs ice. We do have 25% hydrogen, so he would have been good for a little while, but let me just top him off and then we'll go and get some gold. There we go. He's got loads of ice, should keep him going for a little while. Just back out of my little hole here so I know where I am. There we go. And then we will jump into our miner. Okay, so I can't remember where the gold is. We'll find out in a second. Over there. There we are. Okay, so again, no point in you watching me mine a load of gold, so I will bring you back in a minute. Okay, we're just about full. Put a bit in the drills. Still chucking out stone, not sure why. Okay, there we go. Started filling the drills, so we'll leave it there. Right, gotta find my way out of here somehow. Oh, bashing into something. I think there's a big rock behind me somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Just carefully get out of there. Oh, can't see. Alright. Just get myself going. Make sure that is the base. Pretty sure it is. Well, it says it is. And I'll meet you back there. Okay, welcome back. So, I'm going to start slowing down here. About 3 kilometers. We're very, very heavy. But we are slowing down quite well, so just knock off some speed. Can't see a thing. Pitch black. And yeah, I think we're down there somewhere, so I'm just going to aim somewhere that's not an asteroid. Let's go down here. Oh, looks like we need more ice. We should be okay there. Now, where we could do some lights, couldn't we? Can't see a thing. There we are. Nearly. Okay, so I'm just going to transfer all of that. So we'll do gold ore, and we'll put it into CC. Looks like I've got my caps lock on for some reason. And that's it. 51k, pretty good, and 13 already processing, so 64k. Very nice. Right, we do have enough, I think, to get started. So I think we need 20 of those, and then we need another 1,000 of those. So, ooh, we'll have to see. Hopefully I've got enough silver. So we can leave that churning away. Right, while I'm in this chair then, let us get some more ice for this fella. Didn't think he would have gone through it so soon. Apparently he has. So, yeah, I'm not going to bore you with this. Give me a second. Okay, so that's that fella filled up. Now, I think one thing that we can do just before we really get into it, this is my utility ship, so I'm going to just accumulate everything that we've got back in its rightful place. Okay, so that's now empty, and then take a few of everything. Of those, a couple of those, and then we need, I think, 20 of those. And can we take 1,000 of those? No, we can't. Can we get those in there? Yes. Okay, so we only got 16 of those. We need... Wow, those are big, aren't they? Don't take any more of those. Take any more of those. To be the connector then. Yes. Okay, so I think that's everything we need. We are number 2. And some lights on. So pretty heavy, but yeah, I thought if we could get one of these jump drives done, then we would be, at least we'd be able to get that, start that charging, although I don't think my power is very good, so that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Okay, you're missing something else. Yeah, missing something else. Probably grids, I think. We'll have to check on that. Let me go around and just put anything that's needed into this one. You need anything else? No. Oh, okay. Well, let me have a look. Might be... No, I'm pretty sure it'll be grids. So let's go and have a nosy. Let's come out of there for a minute. So for 120 power cells, that's probably what it is. Detector components. Done those, done those. So it should have everything except possibly detector components and power cells. Okay. Yeah, we might have to burn these big hydrogen engines to keep a close eye on the power. Okay, well, you've put a load of components in, but you're still not built. Why is that? I'm trying to come up with a way in which I can see what components are missing, but I don't think there is one in vanilla using remotes. I don't think that's possible. And again, a load of components went in, but we didn't build it. Okay. So what have I missed here? Is it... We did power cells in one of them anyway. Detector components, we did. Can't see it. Oh yeah, metal grids. Can't see how many. 50, I think that is. Alright, we'll come back to that. Yeah, I was going to tell you I had a nightmare trying to get those solar panels on. I tried every which way. I thought you could put solar panels flat on a surface, but it appears you can't. And I will show you, actually, let's just put a block in the middle there. I will attempt to show you why. So I was trying to put it flat side down like so, and on the floor here it says it'll do it. But I don't know if I can reach that actually from here. Let me. Yeah, you see, if I sit that on the top of that block, it won't attach. But that's its attachment point, because that's the only place it goes. So, like if you look here, the mouse cursor is on that block there. Let's do that block there. So it says it will attach, but when I put this on top of there, it won't attach. And that caused me an enormous number of problems, because when I eventually managed to get a row of blocks up the center to attach to the sides, it still wouldn't attach, and I was thinking, oh, what are we going to do here? But it turns out it was because I'd run out of steel. So yeah, that was a bit of a nightmare. Right, so power-wise, you can see we're not doing very well at the moment. It's going to take 10 days for that to recharge. That one in 8 days, and we do have... Oh, let me take that caps lock off. We do have these batteries here, which are on the pod. So let's do... Okay, so yeah, recharged in 8 days. So basically, battery-wise, we're not doing awfully well, which is another reason why I'm hesitant to build those jump drives. But what we do need to do is give some thought to how I'm going to get from here to out there. Bearing in mind I can't use cockpits. So what I thought was, we use Mr. Wellington's little trick here. Oh, we need more ice. Yeah, so if we pop that on there, and then... Should we have this in a different colour? We've done the boring grey all the way through, haven't we? What colour would we like for this little ship? Should we go for maybe a slightly dirty... Slightly, that's just grey, isn't it? That's pink. Yeah, maybe like a slight cyan sort of colour. And we'll do this one in plastic. Why not? So, if we get this right... Yeah, maybe. Ooh. Oh, I'm getting a welding sound now. There we go. And then lock that. And the advantage of doing that is it just lifts it off the floor a little bit, and I must credit Mr. Wellington with that. I hadn't seen it before, but yeah, it gives you space to build, which you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. So I think that's quite a clever idea. So that's really just for, well, convenience, I suppose, because we actually need the connector to be on the back. So this will allow us to fill up like oxygen and that sort of thing. So what I was thinking is we don't really need to connect onto the big connector on the top there. So if I build out a floor, something along those lines, don't think we really need... Yeah, I don't think we really need anything at the side here. So we need it wide enough for me to be able to stand in it. So just bring it forward a little bit further. Okay. Obviously I need to be able to climb into it. And we need a door. And we need at least 3 blocks. Let's put these in here before we forget. We'll just continue that to the back because we may need to connect the two together. In fact, we almost certainly will. Okay, so for the front then, we're going to need a... almost certainly won't have one. Let's put one of those on somewhere. That'll give us the height that we need. Maybe there. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. And then I can work out how we're going to tailor this front bit. So, how are we going to tailor this front bit? Maybe if I just sort of start tilting it up a little bit there. And you'll appreciate I am making this up as I go along, and you're along for the ride. Okay, hoping that'll give us enough height through... what are we going to do here? I think probably it would be a good idea to have a couple of lights in it. Which we can put in there, I think. Somewhere along those lines. And see, we need to try and get a door in here somehow. So if we block that one and that one, I think. And the obligatory slopes. And that should give us the width, I think, to be able to get a door in. Now, ideally, I'd like an airlock. But I don't think we're going to be getting out of the ship at all once we're in it. It would seem unlikely. So an airlock is kind of unnecessary because this hangar space is our airlock. So let me get some of that welded up, and we can see what sort of shape we're taking, and I'll bring you back. So after a lot of deliberation, I kind of quite like that as a front, but it doesn't work with the windows. As you can see, these windows are the other slope, whichever way. You know, I can do flat windows like that, but if I do that up here, I don't think we're going to have enough headroom. Yeah, so kind of has to go the other way round, and then it kind of looks stupid with this slope. So the only thing I can do is try it, but I don't think that'll give us enough headroom. Let me just grab some of those. So that won't join onto there. And yeah, so you can see the collision box for that is much higher. So that's not going to work. Oops. Get back up there. Which means I'd need to make the slope a lot sharper or bring the whole thing forwards another block. Or move the helm backwards another block or 3. Which, again, I don't really want to do. So, the only way round it that I can think of is to use the 1x1s, which is going to be a lot of windows. These things. Which, you know, we can do, but it's not my preferred solution. Let's just try a couple of those and see how that looks. Yeah, see, I can't... Yeah. You can't stick one on the top of that. We'd have to have something to help join them. Okay, let's work on that for now and see how we get on. Yeah, this is getting awfully close to there, isn't it? I kind of want to bring it out further. So the only way we can do that, I think, is with these. Gives us a bit of a funny join there. That's going to be tricky. So what have we got? We've got one of those to a triangle. Is that going to be on here? Yes. So yeah, it's going to look a bit... They always create a step when you do them like that. I'm not thoroughly keen on that, but for now we'll have to work with it. So then we need something to stick our windows onto. Get on the top of that. Oh, no. Okay. Again, if I put one of those on the top there, can I get that on the top there? That gives us something to stick the windows to. And we're very, very close. Okay, I think you're going to have to leave me to work on this for a minute. I don't like that really sharp front there, but I don't think there's a lot we can do about it. In order to get the height, I may have to move that back one block as it is. So I gotta weld that up, finish the other side, and come back to it, and we'll see what sort of a roof, even if it's just like thin plates, we can put over the top. And then we need to give consideration to primarily, I think, a survival kit, some oxygen tanks. I think we're probably going to use ion thrusters because I do have thruster components. So we're stuck on that because it's churning through it. It's kind of waiting on the refinery, I think. We are rapidly running out of iron though, so I might have to go up and get some iron. Yeah, leave this with me and I'll bring you back in a minute. We'll try and get something laid out, see where we go from there. Well, welcome back everybody. I've tussled with this. I did smooth out this line here. As you can see by the mark on the right hand side of the screen, I've just filled up the oxygen ship with ice again. These doors are huge, and I hadn't really accounted for that. I did manage to put a bed in. Yeah, I think maybe I'm trying to do it too small. We do have a lot more space here. I think the problem is trying to keep it as compact as I was when you've got things like these large doors. The initial problem I have with the door is getting in. You have to crouch down to get in, and you have to crouch down to get out, which is not ideal, but on the other hand, not really going to be getting in and out either. So, yeah, it's proving to be a lot more of a problem than I anticipated. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to widen the front, and I'm loath to say, but maybe move the helm one block further back. The roof kind of works. I've had to put a double layer of glass there, so that this layer is higher than the collision box, but I think it does work. The problem is I can't now put blocks. If I put any blocks there, they're going to go higher, so we'd have to use the thin sheets, which I suppose is okay, but then it makes it difficult to match with everything else. And this door is just... I don't like it. I'm going to have to come up with some alternative method, I think, to sort that out. Now, the other thing that I need to bear in mind here is if I just lay out some blocks, we're going to come back quite a lot further from there, so we're going to have probably a survival kit in here somewhere. Not sure how long they are, somewhere around there. And then some kind of configuration at the back here leading to obviously our connector. So just quickly, I'm not going to put these here, I'm just kind of mapping out where things might go. So there's the middle there. Yeah, so back connector somewhere in there, and then on the sides here I was planning on bringing these out, not sure exactly where, but something like that, maybe a bit further. Hopefully got the room on the other side. And then we're going to have our forward thrusters on there, reverse thrusters on the back, and side thrusters on the sides, and then hopefully get some up and downs in the middle. So it'll have kind of a couple of wings. That was my idea. But I'm not at all happy with the way this door is fitting in. If I move it one block further back, I can put a less steep slope in there, which would help. We could just quickly try that. I've got to put a base in because it'll only connect to the base. In fact, while we're at it, let's bring it an extra block back. And then these will be full blocks. And then these will be lesser sloped blocks. Again, it's not really ideal, but under the circumstances, we're trying to squeeze a quart into a pint pot, I think. So those are going to be those. Might have to move the bed at this rate as well. And then we stick that in there. And then we can take off those Okay, so hopefully I can get in the door, which I can't. Ugh. Yeah, we might need a little landing pad there to jump onto, but I was able to. There we go. Yeah, so now we can actually, let's move that. Now we can actually walk in and out if we can get to it. So that's probably a better location for it. I'm going to have to rearrange all this stuff. So transitioning from the sort of rounded, not that it's rounded, but you know what I mean, the sort of rounded front to that square block there is quite tricky. I did want to kind of have some glass here. Where are we? That one. Yeah, so that when you're at the helm, you do kind of, you know, you do have a view at least, rather than just a tiny window at the front there. So yeah, that was my plan. It's just a hauler. But I think you're going to have to leave this with me, because trying to build it on sort of while recording, I'm laying blocks and then taking blocks off, laying blocks, taking blocks off, and it's going to get a bit tedious. So that's kind of what I want to end up with, shape-wise, with a couple of wings for all the thrusters and some large batteries and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's proving to be a little bit more tricky than I originally planned. So yeah, leave this one with me, and I'll attempt to throw something together, and then I will bring you back. Okay, I think here's quite a good time to bring you guys back in. We do have a slight problem though, because I'm building this monstrosity in here. Yeah, the hydrogen ship is full, and I need to bring it back and offload. It's on its way back, and we don't have a docking space, so I'm going to have to temporarily move, I don't know which one, possibly the miner. So let me just sort that out before our hydrogen ship gets back. I think we should be okay. Pretty sure we can dock it there, but I need to do something with this thing, so I figured probably the best thing to do is stick it on here. I mean, I could have put the hydrogen ship on here, to be fair, but I figured this is probably an easier one to move. Oh, why are we rocking all over the place? There we go. Yes, so let me get this back. Should be full of ice. Well, as full as I could get it anyway. But as you can see, it is 100% full on hydrogen, so we need to get cracking on piling up the hydrogen, because we're going to need it. So I think just while that's making its way back, we have got a bit of time, because it's only doing 50 meters a second. Yeah, so the problem I'm having with this, obviously we've got a very low roof, and at the moment it's easier to get in from this side. So if I build with normal blocks, I wouldn't be able to get into it, so it's going to have to be a plate ceiling, and these blocks are shaped, so I can't really do much about those. But the main problem I've got, yeah, I did manage to get the bed back in, up and down thrust. Like, I can do that as side thrust, but I don't have any room if I put back thrust on here for up and down thrust. So I'm going to have to bring them all out yet another block to give me up and down thrust, and then we're pushing it because we're already By the time I've got thrusters on there, we're already 3 large blocks wide. So I think we're okay. We can do 5 blocks. Not that I could build 5 blocks wide in here, but I think our pod can stand 5 blocks. But let me just get this load offloaded, and I think probably send our ship back, and then we'll have a go at figuring out some thruster locations. So I deliberately only left it at 50 meters per second, or 52, so that I'd have time to talk to you. But that's the problem I'm having, is really with the 2 big batteries, which I think we're going to need. I'm running out of space for the up and down thrust. And obviously we need to put some kind of a roof on it. So I was thinking we could put forward thrust on the top and sort of extend the top up. That should make a little bit of space. Won't look as neat, but it'll make some space. Right, let's just, yeah, we can slow down easily enough. Okay. It is amazing how much ice it burnt just on the way back, because this was full and there was load in the drills as well, so it doesn't half get through it. Ooh, we're drifting. Okay. Right, so we got to do these shenanigans again with hydrogen tanks. So we want the base tank to be stockpiling, and then that main tank should be unloading. Takes a minute or two. Okay, it only gives us 3%. Okay, and then these tanks, we don't need all of that, so switch those on. They should start emptying. Maybe won't cut it quite so fine this time. And switch them off. 22%, that's okay. And then the oxygen tank. Okay, that's on, that's not stockpile. And then these, I think, are the base ones. That's 100% full, so stockpile that one. Oh, okay, that didn't have much, did it? Okay, and then cargo-wise, we should have loads of ice. Stick in there, connector, connector, connector. Leave that one. There we go. I've got the O2 gen on the base switched off at the moment. I don't want to use that. I kind of like to keep that either as an emergency or as something to fill our pod with when we leave. Okay, so that's all good. We are still controlling our ship. So I'm just going to go and reposition this and get a load more ice in it so it can get processing again. So I don't think you need to see me do that, so I'll bring you back in a second. Okay, that's done. Right, need to come up with some kind of a solution here. So the only thing I can think of doing is where this door, sort of the bodywork expands out, is to do the same with the roof somehow. The problem is how to do it without impinging on my access. So we're going to have to slope up, and unfortunately, oh, I can get up there. Here's the best place to do it, I think. Oops. So we could maybe do a gentler slope. Why does that keep filling up with oxygen? We got a leak somewhere. That's not on depressurized, so it shouldn't be that. Thinking if we do that, then I can slope up using these without cutting into our walking room. I think that'll be airtight. It's not pretty, but I mean, to be fair, this is probably one of the worst, flimsiest ships I've ever built. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, this block here I would really like to change, but I don't think I can because it's shaped. I can't think of another block that we could use there. We could possibly put it the other way round and have it sticking out square. Then that kind of throws all of this off as well. So I'm going to leave it for now, I think, and we'll just have to work with it. So the inevitable next step is going to be that one. And then we're going to have to try joining onto there, which is that one. And then we need a triangular one. I think that kind of works. I wasn't actually too concerned about making it all sort of smooth and pretty, but where I can, I like to, you know, make it look half decent at least. Can't reach over there. Yeah, so what that does is it brings it up, gives us more, well, the same cabin room, but a stronger ceiling. So when we get to the back here then, what are we going to be? We're going to be 2 blocks high. Yeah, so we're going to be up at that sort of height. So I could possibly embed the thrusters and put plates for a ceiling along there. That might work. Not ideal, and it gives us a very square back. Unless I put them there. So let's just have a quick look at that. So we stick them in there. We got 1, 2, 3 suits there. We could do, probably get away with that actually. Not sure. I know we need 3 clear blocks, so I'm not sure that would be enough. Maybe that would be better. And then we can use these plates here, but what do we do there? Oh, we'll worry about that afterwards. So I think that'll work, and that enables me to carry this on back, but that's not right there, is it? So that's coming back that way. So that's a really awkward block. Which one is that? That one? And then I think this will probably just carry on back, but we'll have to work that out when we get there. Might change some of these for lights and things in you know, later on, just to make it look pretty. We need lights on the inside. Okay. So that solves the forward thrust issue. I'll do this other side afterwards. The reverse thrust isn't too much of a problem. I think we can probably get some in here, maybe. So now we don't need that one or that one. These batteries are huge, aren't they? I've put a couple of cargo boxes in there. I don't really need them. We're going to be using the main cargo, but because this O2 gen is only 2 blocks wide, but the tank is 3 blocks wide, I put a couple of cargo boxes in just to balance it up. Whichever way round you put the batteries, they take up the same space, so no point in trying to turn them. So yeah, what I'm left with is the same problem as I had before, which is how to get up and down thrust in. It's all getting a bit cramped. We can put side thrust in that row if necessary, but it'll kind of depend where the up and down thrust goes. So the only thing I can think of as a possible solution is I can't put them there because then I wouldn't be able to get... Oh, I suppose we would, because we've gone higher now, haven't we? So if I put 2 in there and then put the battery, obviously we're out 1 more block than we were, but now we do at least have some down thrust in. We put the up thrust there. That's kind of works. Should be able to hide that. So we've got forward, up and down. So here we need... don't really need a lot. I don't think this is going to be a heavy ship, so... I know there's a spare block there, but I don't want to use that because I can't do it on the other side, so it's going to have to be there and there maybe. And then we want it there or there? I think I'd rather have it inset, seeing as we can. Okay, I think we've got something to work with there. I will I'll do a bit of greebling, tidying up and finish off the roof and things. And yeah, leave it with me. Okay, so after a lot of messing about, I'll just give you a quick tour. It's not finished yet, still some more greebling to do, but this is the inside. I've got rid of those horrible blocks from the inside here, but as I will show you, it makes the outside a bit more ugly. But hey, we don't live on the outside, do we? I've put a gyro down there just because it's fairly central and we're not using that space anyway, and I might find some bits and pieces just to make it look a little less boring, and I'll probably put some windows over that just to make a floor. But the survival kit obviously is not airtight, and had a lot of problem figuring out where the leak was. I think it's around this band here, because build info tells us that it's sealed on 64 of 66 faces, which is not really a lot of help, is it? But anyway, I'll show you what I did for that. Meanwhile, if we close the door, you can see we do pressurize, so that's the main concern. Obviously we'll lose the air when we open the door, but then it should get all deposited in here somewhere. Yeah, so around the back here I had to bring the connector another block back in order to put a row of blocks. A row of blocks, I couldn't think of the word. So it's still not... Oh, I can't really show you that. Yeah, let me go on the top. It's still not completely sealed. Oh, throwing me off. Completely sealed, but it seems to be enough. So that's all I need, and then I'll just greeble the rest of it just to, you know, make it flow a bit better, because it's definitely not finished, is it? But I think we do have everything we need. We've got side thrust, we've got back thrust, or push, or whatever you want to call it, forward thrust. I know, I get it the other way around. That's called forward thrust, yeah. We've got back thrust on the top there, hidden in the roof. We've got up and down. I've put some lights on. We'll probably put some on the side as well. So, not much of a ship. Probably the ugliest one I've ever built. But as you can see, let me just go back up there. I've had to bring these out into a step in order to hide the ones on the inside, and I can't think of another way of making that neat and tidy, because anything that you feed off that triangle is going to be either a full block on the inside, which we want to avoid, or it's going to slope the wrong way on the outside. So yeah, I did think of maybe trying to fiddle with these blocks a little bit just to make it look a little bit smoother, but honestly, does it matter? We're going to be inside the ship anyway. So I'm going to put a bit of greebling on here, try and tidy this up a little bit, but other than that, and possibly a landing gear, which I can't put on at the moment, I think we're pretty good. I think the ship has everything we need. We've got somewhere to sleep for the long journey. We've got a survival kit for energies and things. I haven't put any hydrogen on this ship because we've got it on the jump pod. But we have got an H2O2 generator in case we need it, and we do have an oxygen tank, which I'm hoping will be enough for the journey. And we'll probably take some ice with us anyway, just in case. So there we are, tiny little step on here, which absolutely does not help. It just gives you something to land on when you're jumping in. But as I say, once we're in, and we won't be getting out until we get back to Earth. So I'm happy with that. So for now, I think I'm going to jump into bed and wish you good night. Sleep tight. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It was very bitty, I'm afraid, but necessary just to try and get the design right, get everything working. I didn't even mention the pretty window on the other side, but you can see that for yourself. Anyway, look after yourselves, take care, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye now.